What we have here is none other than H2O playing his first bracket stage, round of 64 match. He's playing as British in blue, and we have him playing versus the Black Rider. He was obviously a guy from the group stage. He got a little bit lucky probably from getting out of it. So this is probably going to be a relatively easy game for the famous H2O. In case some of you don't know him, he has been a little bit inactive lately, last years in fact, but he has been logging in from time to time. Of course still trying to claim number 1 ELO position versus Darwin Giovanni, and I believe in fact that he has won this battle for now, because he is the number 1 in ELO with around 2860 ELO, something like that. He of course also won WCG back in the days. That was I think in 2008, and now he is of course trying to get in the top for this tournament with a very nice prize pool, about $2,500. So if he can take something of it, of course, very nice. And he is likely to will able to, because he's a very good player still. Always had very good mechanics, very good game understanding, and if he focuses, of course, for a serious game like this, also very good micro and decision making. So in fact, he combines everything into one, and then you get this very OP player. Black Rider, I don't know that much about him. I know that he is not that high ranked, so we'll see what he is able to pull off. Sometimes we see that players who are, don't want to be too harsh here, but who are likely to lose the match, will try to go for something weird, something out of the box, some kind of rush, something unexpected, just to have a shot at winning the game. Because it's of course unlikely, if you play a player who's a lot better, that you will win it straightforward. So British mirror, because Black Rider also chose British. You see here that both of them, in fact, yes, have gone for. Hold on. The red guy has gone for a market and a house. H2O went for the house and just now makes his market. I'm curious why he makes it so late. Interesting, because the earlier you make it, of course, the more you benefit from it, as well from the XP. He didn't take any trading post or something, so not sure what he was doing there. He has a lot of villagers on wood, so he's probably gonna gather for another house. You see people sometimes doing it. I missed starting crates, but depending on how many crates you get, you can of course gather another wood for another house, because you delay your food gathering a little bit because you gather wood. On the other hand, you get your XP faster because you make another house, and of course you get a free villager. So in the end, you will only age up slightly later. But then again, there's the house. But then again, you will have an extra villager. And in a mirror matchup especially, a little bit later age up doesn't matter that much if you scout properly and still able to counter what he might be doing. He is still gathering wood, so there is another house coming up, I think. It might be that I was chatting a little bit of H2O in front before this game, of course by the matchup as well, but oh, it might be that he was going for something interesting I was about to say. Curious to see how he managed to age up so fast. Let's see what he has in his deck. Pretty normal deck. Same here. So when all the villagers were on wood, I think I was fixing some settings before I started the stream, so maybe I was just not synchronized myself with the game settings, the game time. And then it was in fact quite normal probably that he had all these villagers on wood because he was already aging. And then of course you want all your villagers on wood to make another house, etc. Same of course for the Black Rider. So I think I was a little bit off track there, sorry for that. So then it's all quite standard. We see that both age with the tower and a 200 coin. Black Rider already has his racks up and H2O going for it right now. Might be because H2O goes for the steel traps market early on, and therefore delaying his racks a little bit. I'm not sure it's being built. Oh yeah, there's being built. We see a lot of houses for H2O coming up. Of course, with have to keep track of this, sorry guys. That is the 700 wood shipment. Of course, he aged a little bit faster, meaning that he also has a 700 wood shipment a little bit earlier. Yeah, of course, 700 wood shipment for Black Rider. And he is trying to push out a bit. We see that H2O's tower is put up way more up front than Black Rider. Black Rider very defensive. Still, he's trying to push out here and see what he can get done. Of course, every shot you take here is one too many. You shouldn't push out like this, but apparently he didn't know the tower was up there. H2O adding a fast second Rex from the 700 wood. And then here's some houses. We see that there is a 600 wood shipment after for the Black Rider, but only one Rex so far, but he's going for a trading post. That's already a deviation in their strategies, in their build orders. Trading post is nice as British. It depends a little bit on how you want to go with it, but you might be able to push a little bit better because you have access to more shipments, for example a faster musketeer card, while on the other hand H2O here goes for a few more manors. Also 600 wood, a second shipment if I'm correct. Yes, he goes for some more manors and does more economy for now. What we see here is that he had made 10 musketeers just going close to this tower. In effect, he's going to take this 320 XP. Nice spot to put the tower there because you always know if your opponent is going for it. Just to go back to the BO for a second, both went for 600 wood, 700 wood and then 600 wood. It is not something that everyone does. Often you see 700 wood, then 5 villages and then 600 wood. Because technically speaking 5 villages is directly economic boost while your houses have to be built and then you get 5 villages from it as well. No, sorry, 4 times 135, you get 4 villages and you have a little bit of wood left. On the other hand, if you go for 600 wood, you will get the XP from the houses, and that means that you will get your third card in second age faster. So if you go for 600 wood and then 5 villages, you will get the two shipments faster than if you go for 5 villages and then 600 wood. This might be the Black Rider, Black Watch strategy, as I see the church coming up here for the Black Rider. That means that you will have to get the trading post to get your XP, to get your cannons, and to get later on the wood again to boom again. And also of course the church card. I'm pretty sure that H2O is familiar with this. We saw a little bit of a raid from him incoming just to see what kind of damage he could do. Of course, he was a guy, and probably still is, that was very good at multitasking. I believe he played some StarCraft, not sure what he plays now. I assume that he still plays some game, can't imagine that he doesn't. So some raid coming in from this side, and then of course this one will pop in again later on. He's just trying to keep the other guy busy, while of course in the back of this he can boom some more himself. You see that there are still 2, 4, 6, 8 villagers on wood. To keep your boom going, so you can still produce musketeers, but then you can also still keep making a house now and then. More musketeers coming in, because as soon as you scout this, you know you have to pressure. Usually, if I'm correct from what I've seen and read before, this trading post Black Watch strategy used to be a little bit different of a BO, so that you would be faster. He made a lot of musketeers. He might have made some more musketeers just to be safe, but that of course delays your age up a lot, and that means that you will have less of an advantage, because the reason why you would go for such a strategy, if that's indeed the strategy that he was trying to go for, is that you have a fast age up and then are able to use very strong units, cannons and Highlanders, versus your opponent. If you wait too long, he just has too many units himself. On the other hand, it could be that he just wants to use it for an increase of line of sight for his buildings and units, which can come in handy for 100 food, or that he just wants to do the infantry upgrade later on that increases your infantry HP but decreases your speed. Anyway, some more raids here and there from H2O, from left and right. As you see now, his score advantage after 10 minutes is already 26 points, 25 now for. It's always a good tactic to keep your opponent busy on one side of the map or one side of his base while you're pushing on the other side. There you see that he aged up, used the 6 Longman age up shipment. And now he has his tower, town center, and of course these units. What he should be doing is not moving. I think this is a misclick. Probably using attack move and then misclicked. If he would be able to move over here, for example, and then use his Minuteman, he would still have a better chance of getting. And now we see the Black Watch strategy. This is the Black Watch. They're even called Black Watch. Yeah, of course, that's why it's the Black Watch strategy. They're basically like Highlanders, which you might know from the saloon. Very, very strong musketeers. They cost 1,000 food, which he gathered during the age up. And now he is able to push out because this army, especially with the Longbowmen as well, is able to definitely do a lot better versus H2O here. So now H2O has to deal with it. This also means that 2 cannons will come shortly. In fact, this was one strategy that I might want to do in a tournament, but now I guess everyone knows about it. Anyway, 2 cannons will probably pop out shortly. I think Black Rider should wait for that, because we see that H2O keeps massing from true Rex, and even though you have the better army, the stronger army now because of these very strong musketeers, as you see over here, 400 HP, 63 damage. You still can be beaten if you get outmassed a lot. What you see H2O doing, he might go for some kind of not a base trade in fact, because he's probably easily able to hold his town center. But as soon as he pushes out, as we see now, he might just go for his town center here, having used the musketeer damage already, sieging it and then go back. If he is able to siege the tower as well, it also means that the Black Rider has no more shipping point available. Still is able to pull out Minutemen. I think he won't get it in time, so he's just going for a Rex because the Black Rider is already turning back. But keep in mind, all the time, H2O has much more economy because he didn't go for such a fast fortress. So all the time that he can delay the Black Rider, it's kind of similar to the previous game between Kiljardi and Mike I showed you. If you are able to delay your opponent when you have the economy advantage, or just when you need time, just go for some raids with musketeers or hussars or whatever is available, and get yourself a stronger army. Now you see he's mixing Longbowmen very well, of course, because he has the cannons, but mainly the very good musketeers and his musketeers that he made. So you want to have the best units versus it, which are just a lot of Longbowmen and musketeers. Now that we see he's able to siege the town center, like I explained before, because Black Rider is over here. Again, cannons are an immobile army. That means you have to use your mobility as the other player. He pops out Minutemen, of course able to take out some of these musketeers here. But if he pulls back on time, he might be able to save his town center. I think he's barely not, because he's probably going to still siege it even if he loses some musketeers and then just run away. So in fact this is bad decision making then by the Black Rider. He should have tried to estimate that he wouldn't be able to save his town center. Then he might as well just go push to H2O's base, or go back earlier to save it. Nonetheless, he still has 9 musketeers coming here. He should definitely upgrade his musketeers, he has so many. But still, he does not know. He still has 1,000 wood shipment, of course, in the third age, so he can still recover from this. H2O did lose a lot of musketeers. And meanwhile, he also shipped 700 gold probably, and we see that he aged up himself, so now he has also 2 cannons available. Very good job at delaying the initial push from the Black Rider with his strategy. And now he has enough time and units out to definitely counter this, and he has, of course, the much better economy. Also a trading post, so he should definitely be able to take this. And he did indeed lose a lot of villages in the raids, and also didn't continue his villager production, as you see. For example, here is 57 versus 23, that's more than twice as much villagers. When he is able to ship cannons and upgrade his Longbowmen and musketeers, he's definitely gonna take it. But this is exactly what you can expect from such a high skill player. By many, the favorite to win this tournament. I think it's going to be very likely that he's going to win this tournament, and if not him, then maybe Shimraz or Boneng or Nagayumi. But he's definitely a favorite, also in my opinion. And you can expect such kind of decision making from him, knowing exactly what to do in what situation. How to counter your opponent, how to delay him if you need some time, the raiding in the start. And here he's targeting the cannon with Longbowmen. Hopefully he only needs one more shot, but we see that the Black Rider also did a pretty nice micro. was able to get out 2 shots on time on the other cannon, and also he's now able to take out his cannon by H2O. So that's actually a little bit of a, well, he probably thinks I'm so far ahead, doesn't matter that much, but anyway, he shouldn't have pushed out like this with so few support, because his other units of course were still on the other side of the map, raiding as well, but he just caused a good game because he lost too many villagers. I think he knows by now that he has not enough left, and here another 3 villagers down. And even though he has these units left, H2O has all the mass and all the economy available to just get a lot more here. And we see 3 more cannons coming in as well. So British Mirror first game won by H2O, and still a fun game to watch it. It's always nice to show a very different strategy from what we usually see, especially in the British Mirror. So gonna wait for the invite for the next game. Of course, this is the round of 64 bracket stage. That means that it's a BO3. First map Great Plains, as we just saw, and the second map is gonna be Saguenay, I think. It has water, so let's see what will happen there, if one of them goes for water or not. Of course, there's the rule that you can't play the winning civilization twice, except if you're playing one of the 7 Euro civilizations. That is all the Euro civilizations except Ottomans. Then you can still play it if you won with it in the first game. Besides, H2O probably just want to play one of the basic matchup here, not showing anything of his well thought out probably strategies for later on games versus stronger opponents. Oh, still getting used to this keyboard, sorry guys. So, second game, let's see if they okay, so he's gonna change it up in the end. Ottomans for H2O, and then let's see what Black Rider is gonna do versus it. Yeah, indeed, he did. he did quite good. It was okay. Yes, he should definitely have gone for his base instead of going back and forth, like I explained in the stream earlier. So well adapted by H2O, of course, and countered it pretty nice. I'm waiting for them to ready up. Not sure what's happening there. Well, what we have here, Sue from the Black Rider. You did? Okay, anyway, we changed again. We don't have Sioux, we don't have Ottomans, nor Brits, we have an Iroquois mirror coming up. Well, that is definitely one of H2O's specialties. You might even remember the, I think, first or second tournament on the fan patch, played probably 2 years ago or something, 2011 if I'm correct. There we had H2O, I think, taking it, or at least in the top 3. where also Iroquois was the most played civilization because it was then considered the strongest, and still in this tournament as well, it is considered the strongest civilization. So let's see how this plays out. Of course, Iroquois not the best water civilizations, but they can still go for it, even with the trading post and the extra cards you have available. There we go, H2O already taking his trading post, and he converted this guardian, the Black Rider it is. I'm not sure from which side the trading post starts here. Whether it matters a lot to take it first or not. Let's see for next time. Oh wait, it's already in the middle, so it comes from the right. So in fact, that's very unfortunate for him. I don't like these imbalances in fact, but well, that's how it is. If he would have started right away, he would have missed it also, but we see that H2O will get the first shipment faster. Because he can, he's on the other side of the map. So something to keep in mind here. Who's on the left side will get the first shipment every time. On Great Plains you can walk to the middle with your hero straight away and get it right on time. Maybe it would work here, I'm not sure. It might actually work if you just build it here, then you might be able to get the first XP. Not sure, I have to check that later on. Anyway, he's going for the Coureur de Bois villager. I hope I pronounced that right for all the French viewers. Still doing a little bit of scouting with his Travas, H2O probably as well. Not sure where his Travas is. Ah, you already built a house over there. Of course, you always want to build your house somewhere on the map. Preferably not too far to your opponent, but definitely a little bit further on the map. So you have some line of sight of what's going on over there. Though I'm not quite sure I understand this one. I think this seemed blocked to me, so I would rather have it like somewhere over here where you can actually see if he's coming in for a raid or something, but maybe he just random clicked, I'm not sure. Anyway, he started with the market, that means that they didn't build the market, but you also always get one starting building on Saguenay, and that was in this case the market for both players. He has some issues with the wolf apparently, but eventually he managed to kill them all and rescue these Coureurs de Bois. Some scouting still going on for H2O. I can't use the page up button here, I still haven't found it, if it is on my keyboard at all. So I can't see any previous treasures they took when I missed it when I was talking about something else. Definitely some sheep still not being scouted by the Black Rider. Of course, the nice thing of playing the worst cheap civilizations is that you have additional scouts, because you can convert guardians and they can be used to scout or even attack your opponent. On the other hand, you can also use them of course to attack the guardians, so that you will take less damage with your hero and take more treasures. We see H2O going for another Coureur de Bois. However, this one is heavier protected by bears, in this case, a polar bear indeed. Not sure what the polar bear is doing on this map, but he also manages to take one, so that balances it out again. And the Black Rider there gets 150 coin, of course, very, very nice. Aging up with the Travas, but he should immediately have sent this over here on the map, because you always want to build as soon as possible to not take as much damage as you otherwise might. There we see H2O probably already had it at the flag point, pointed somewhere over here on the map, so it would go straight away. H2O, that's gonna be very funny. H2O is gonna build it over here. If he only stays there for a minute or so, he would be able to scout it and siege it all the time, and that would mean that he would do a lot of damage to H2O's warhead. But now I'm not sure why he's going to watch this this whale over here. Oh, beluga effect. Shame. Anyway, it's gonna be a battle for this treasure here. 90 food. H2O gonna leave it, even though he has actually probably the option to take it out, but not gonna take the fight. So another 90 food for the Black Rider. But well, hey, he needs the additional treasures, all he can get, because it's not gonna be easy to beat H2O, of course. There we have the first Forcania shipment from H2O, and that means that the shipment from the Black Rider is unknown. Oh, it's also gonna be for Canyas. However, he's also running straight into the warhead of H2O. It means he's already taking a lot of damage on this this Kanya over here. and he's gonna get trapped. It means that he takes even more damage, so it's very, very fortunate. At least gonna use the crack shot of his hero on the other units, making 3 hyenas. Of course, versus 5 hyenas is gonna be very hard. You always want to target your warhead on Kanyas first, because they do additional damage, as you can see here with their attack. And this might in fact be already kind of the win for H2O here, because if you manage to take such a decisive win here in the first fight, you can just stay at the warhead and shoot at everything that comes out. The problem now is that he lost all his Kanya, but he also lost his hyenas, so that means H2O's hyenas will be able to just kill the tomahawks, and if the tomahawks would go closer, then the hyenas can just micro back and kite them for a little bit. He's also going to use his Kanyas because he knows he has just the upper hand in this battle, so it's not a problem to really lose it. Because while he loses it, he can just, while he loses HP, he can just make sure that he kills his whole army here. Now that he micros a little bit here, he just puts them on the warhead. Because of course, for his tomahawks you take more damage, so you don't want to go melee mode for them. So this is very, very rough, because he's now going to lose his warhead. Of course, every unit that he trains will gonna be killed, because it's gonna get caught by, first of all the infantry that's over here, and secondly, if he tries to escape, the Kanya will just attack it and of course slow it down. He's lucky to get these 5 alive out. Slow it down, and then the other units can kill it, as you see over here. So, quick win from H2O, as expected though. But this Black Rider guy got to play H2O, which not everyone can say.